Hey, you've waited months for a new male character, and Qiuyuan is finally stepping onto the stage like he owns the place. But before you rush in to spend your hard-earned asteroids, let's talk about what makes him so special, how to build him correctly, and whether he's truly worth your investment. This is your ultimate Qiuyuan guide. Everything from his kit, rotation, to his best teams, weapons, and echoes, all laid out so you can decide if he's your next must pull or just another banner to skip. Yo! Welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? Okay, Qiuyuan is underrated, but he will shine once paired with the right Resonators. Galbrena and Phrolova will greatly benefit from his echo skill buffs, as well as his crit damage boost. This is why if you plan to top up in order to get him, click the link in my description to get up to 25% in discounts with Loot Bar for your Lunite subscription, Battle Pass, and Lunite top-ups. Loot Bar is cheaper than in-game top-ups and is trusted by the Wuwa community with excellent Trustpilot scores for their reliability and efficiency. With their mobile DIY top-up, you can even get the discounts without having to share your password. I've been using them for months now and they have been very helpful throughout the top-up process. So, if you use my link, you can get an extra 10% off your first purchase. So click the links in my description and pinned comments. And thank you Loot Bar for sponsoring this video. Now, back to our Qiuyuan build guide. Qiuyuan's Forte system revolves around 3 bars, each requiring 200 points. He gains 400 points from his intro skill, 100 from his third basic attack or dodge counter, and another 100 from every stage of his enhanced combo. Once you fill 1 bar, his basic attacks transform into an enhanced 4-hit combo called Ink Wash. These attacks deal heavy damage, classified as heavy attack damage. Whenever Qiuyuan performs a heavy attack, he can follow it up with the last hit of his enhanced combo, which regenerates Forte points, making it a crucial part of his rotation flow. When Qiuyuan's Forte reaches 400 points or 2 bars, the entire team gains a 30% echo skill damage buff for 30 seconds. But when all 3 bars are filled, he enters a powerful state called Ink Splash of Mind. In this mode, holding the attack button triggers a 3-stage heavy attack sequence. These attacks count as heavy attack damage, but the action itself is treated as casting an echo skill. An incredible interaction that synergizes perfectly with Galbrena's red Forte generation and Phrolova's enhanced attack triggers. His resonance skill is simple but effective. It deals damage, classified as echo skill damage, and if timed during an enemy attack, it stagnates them. Holding the skill also lets you use it for exploration if no enemies are nearby. Now, his Resonance Liberation on the other hand is a powerhouse. It not only nukes enemies with heavy echo skill damage but grants the entire team a critical damage buff that scales with his own crit rate. For every 1% crit rate above 50%, the team gains 2% crit damage, and it's up to 30%. So ideally, aim for at least 65% crit rate on Qiuyuan. This buff lasts for 30 seconds, making it one of the longest and strongest team buffs in the game. His outro skill further boosts the next character's echo skill damage by another 50% for 14 seconds, making him an insane sub-DPS or support for echo-based units. His inherent passives are solid. The first grants 10% attack, while the second amplifies enhanced heavy attack damage by 50%. The final passive restores 30 concerto when the last hit of his heavy combo connects. He even has a unique auto-dodge mechanic after performing a basic or heavy attack, letting him avoid incoming damage. However, it's slightly flawed. It activates with a 1-second delay and only works for normal and heavy attacks. Still, it's useful for aura farming and survivability. Qiuyuan's damage sources split into 2 major categories: echo skill damage and heavy attack damage, with the latter being more dominant. When leveling his talents for a DPS build, prioritize his Forte, then Liberation, followed by Residence skill, Intro, and finally his basic attacks. If you prefer him as a support, go first with his Liberation and then his Forte circuit. Now, let's talk sequences. Qiuyuan sequences are ridiculously strong, especially compared to other characters. Sequence 1 gives him interruption resistance during Forte attacks and 20% crit rate. Nice, but not mandatory. Sequence 2 adds a 30% echo skill damage amplification when 2 Forte bars are filled. Sequence 3, however, is the real jackpot. It supercharges his kit. His Liberation gets a 500% damage multiplier boost, and when his Forte isn't full, his Resonance skill transforms, consuming 60 Concerto to deal massive 500% arrow damage while instantly filling 2 Forte bars. Afterward, he starts at enhanced basic attack number 3, and on top of that, his Forte heavy attacks gain 600% more damage, and his next outro skill deals an additional 500% arrow damage. It's overkill and it turns him into a full-blown main DPS. Sequence 4 grants a 20% attack increase. Sequence 5 allows his attacks to ignore 15% of the enemy's defense. Now, Sequence 6 doubles down on the madness. After using the enhanced skill, Qiuyuan gains 100% crit damage for 6 seconds. His last enhanced attack stagnates enemies, and when his Ink Splash of Mind state ends, he drops another 600% arrow nuke. These sequences are wild, and if you're spender, Sequence 3 is the one to go for, as it redefines his entire playstyle. Now, for rotations. The standard rotation starts with his intro, instantly filling 2 Forte bars. Then, use his echo skill to trigger buffs from your weapon or echo set. Follow with basic attack 3 and 4, since his intro lets him start directly from basic attack number 3. Use his Resonance skill if you need extra energy or synergy effects. Then, pop Liberation. Perform 3 Forte heavy attacks and finish with your outro. For support or Phrolova teams, you'll extend this by performing 2 heavy attacks plus enhanced basic attack number 4 combos to refill his Forte before repeating the Forte heavy attacks and outro. With Sequence 3, however, you can begin rotations by casting the enhanced Resonance skill to instantly reach Forte, then chain into his enhanced combos. Echo-wise, his best set is Law of Harmony, granting 30% heavy attack damage and up to 16% team-wide echo skill damage for 30 seconds. Pair it with arrow sets or lingering tunes, or use energy focus sets like Moonlit or Tide Breaking if you're short on regen. Your main echo skill should be Fenrico or Nightmare Phalian Berenjol. This setup excels when paired with Phrolova or Galbrena. If you're using Shakona, Windward Pilgrimage with Fleur de Lis becomes ideal. Moonlit works if you're just using him for buffs, and Midnight Veil can shine in Phrolova teams. Aim for around 30% energy regen with slightly less if running extended rotations. For stats, focus on crit on the 4-cost Echo, double arrow or arrow plus attack on 3 cost, and attack percent on 1 cost. Substats should prioritize crit rate, heavy attack bonus, energy regen, crit damage, and attack percentage. Now, as for weapons, his signature is top tier, offering 60% heavy attack bonus and 20% team-wide echo skill damage. However, it's not essential if you're mostly running him as a support. Other strong 5-star choices include the Emerald of Genesis for 12.8% energy regen, attack buff, and the crit rate substat. You could also go with other crit statistics like Blazing Brilliance or Red Sprig for the attack boost. But for 4-star options, you can use Looming Gloss, Command of Conviction, Endless Collapse, or Sword number 18. Let's talk about team comps. Since Qiuyuan is an echo skill buffer, he naturally pairs best with Galbrena and Phrolova, the two queens of echo skill damage. His kit's interaction, many of which count as echo skill casts, synergize beautifully with their mechanics. In Galbrena teams, fill the third slot with a sustained support. For Phrolova, either Shorekeeper or Cantarella works perfectly, providing similar results. Buffs Qiuyuan's heavy attack requirements, while Shorekeeper increases everyone's crit even more. In Phrolova's Shorekeeper setups, remember to use the extended Forte rotations for maximum buff uptime. If you are brave enough, you can go with a no-healer team of Galbrena, Qiuyuan, and Phrolova, where Qiuyuan takes double turns in buffing both units. For a main DPS build, Qiuyuan shines alongside whose heavy attack buffs and self-sustain complement him perfectly. The final slot can go to Shikona for her 24% aero damage team buff and personal DPS. If you don't have Shikona, Shorekeeper or Arrow Rover can serve as replacements. Without Mortifi is a decent filler with a sustained unit rounding out the trio. In summary, Qiuyuan is a powerhouse. He brings massive buffs, flexible playstyles, and high personal damage. His ability to enhance echo skill users like Galbrena and Phrolova makes him one of the most valuable characters in the game's meta. So what's the verdict? Qiuyuan is versatile, stylish, and meta relevant. If you enjoy hybrid DPS supports that can dish out heavy damage while boosting your entire squad, he's worth pulling. If you're already satisfied with your Phrolova or Galbrena teams, you can save your pulls. Either way, he's one of the most fun and most impactful male characters released in Wuthering Waves so far. Let me know in the comments whether you're pulling Qiuyuan and how deep your plan is to go for him. And as always, if you found this guide helpful and resonated with you, please hit that like button, share it with your fellow players, and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Hit that bell to gain massive gacha luck. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in the next video drop. Goodbye.